Hey, how are you doing? Pretty late in the evening here. The sun is about ready to go down and lose light, but I just wanted to give a quick update on the bench. Obviously, the bench is pretty much complete. There's not really a lot to do to it. Rather than routing out a router plate slot in the bench itself, even though the bottom is actually prepared for the hole for the router to set, I think I'll take kind of a cue from Ron and use basically those transformation pieces where he actually just has a piece with the bench dog holes that actually sits on top of the bench, dogs into the bench, clamps into the bench, whichever way you fasten it, and then it actually pluses up the bench. So I probably will do something like that for a router bench. But the quick update right now is, because my bench is made out of AC plywood, 3/4 top, 1/2 inch bottom, 3/4 end spreaders, and then 1/2 inch sides and internal spreaders, I do have the pipe system, the rails that actually hold up my table saw right there. And also, as you might have seen, I went ahead and plussed it up with the spreader shelf, which has been a godsend for actually setting this thing up and having exactly the spacing that I need on those sawhorses. Really happy with that one. Now, because my bench is an odd size, it's 3x7, not 3x6, I've gone ahead and I did not do any templates for that. I just made it through measurements. I was off a little bit, but not much, and it was on the outside miter or the outside peg alignment slots, and I could just make them a little bit bigger, and then it guided itself right into and onto my sawhorses, which I simply plussed up with a 3/4 by 1 inch 18 millimeter piece of plywood that I just ripped down, a couple of screws in after pre-drilling, and that just well, right there. So it's just an aftermarket, if you will, and then you can see this hole is just a little bit bigger. That hole there, just perfect. So what else? The only other thing, and I just literally got this done, is putting this hole right here, this handle, both top and bottom. So if you look down through, the hole goes all the way through. So I did that because this bench with all that plywood is, I'm guessing without weighing it, about 100 pounds, and that's not with the sawhorses or anything. That's just the bench top itself. Close. It's got to be close. So with that, it was very awkward to actually set up onto the sawhorses and get everything. Now I could do it, but this handle, I've already tried it once. Now that I've got the handle created, excuse me, that handle is really key. So I would, certainly, if I had a really super light bench, if it were 50 pounds or less, I could probably handle it without really any issue at all. But this thing, being twice as heavy, that handle is now I'm saying it's integral to the system. So any heavier benches, I certainly recommend a hole in the middle. I actually had some plastic handles that I literally took off of some product that was delivered, and they actually had physical plastic handles mounted to whatever it was. And I took those off thinking, hey, why not save those? And they're actually still in my trailer. There are 4 of them, and they have several screw holes, and you can really attach them. And I actually attached them to the bottom of this thing, both on one side and then the other, thinking that I could grab it and kind of leverage it and all. But they just were not stout enough for the job, and so I was really unhappy with them, so I took them off after trying them once or twice. But this seems to be a big deal here, so I'm very happy, even though it puts yet another hole in the bench. But it's really about the surface itself. It's not actually, it's all full of holes anyway, but you intelligently, bench works just fine as a flat surface with plenty of tool storage inside of it. Thank you very much. This is just a quick update on all of that. Be safe out there. Have a good time with it. Hope you're building your own bench. Hope your bench is just awesome, because mine, I'm just so happy with it. It's so very functional as an outfeed for my saw and for just assembly and everything in between. So I'm very, very happy with it, even though it's heavy. So just happy with it. All right. Hey, be safe. I'll get it.